Hi, so in this video I'm going to show you how to make some little gift cards using the ScanNCut and the Flower Patch stamps from Stampin' Up. I'm also going to show you how to make a box for them to go into. Now, to save a little bit of time on the video, I've already made 4 cards and I've got my envelopes here. I'm going to show you how I made the card. One thing I would say about these stamps is they don't look very big on the front of the box. This is the stamp that I'm going to be using, but if you look at the actual size of the stamp compared to the design, they are considerably bigger, and I have to say they are beautiful stamps. They're what they call photopolymer, so they're clear stamps. This black that you can see here is just the design on the plastic, but they are completely clear. Mine might be a little bit stained because I was using some of the strawberry slush the other day, but it doesn't affect how they stamp at all. So I've got a few things ready just to save a little bit of time. So as I say, we're going to use this stamp. First of all, I would say that I started off with a piece of A4 card and I put it horizontal, so the longer side ran from left to right, and I cut these down to 3.5 inches. Then when I'd got my 3 pieces of 3.5 inches out of my A4, I then turned each one round and trimmed it to 7. So these make a 3.5 inch square card. So to stamp the flower, I'm going to be using baked brown sugar, and to get the first 2, I'll show you those. These were stamped using the Stampin' Off technique. So I'm just going to ink up my stamp. I've got some scrap card here. I'm going to stamp on there and then stamp on there, and that gives me a faded out design. And I'm going to do the same again, ink it up, stamp on my scrap, and then stamp here. So that's the first 2 designs. Then I'm going to take the little flower that's in the box. Again, I'll just bring the box in. It's this tiny little flower here, and that's the actual size of the stamp. I'm going to do the same thing, Stampin' Off, only this time I'm going to be using strawberry slush. So I'm just going to ink up my stamp, stamp off, and then stamp once into the centre, and do the same again, stamp off and stamp once into the centre. And I have to say, these Stampin' Up ink pads are very, very juicy, and I've been playing with them for a few days, and I have to say that I just get covered in the ink. So that was one of the reasons why I came up of doing this card this way, so that I can stamp off, so I've not got as much ink. And then what I've also done is stamp them as one stamp, and we're going to cut these out with the ScanNCut, and that's what gives us this flower to layer up on top. And I did the same with some leaves, and I've already cut those, so I'm going to put a little leaf and one of these flowers on there, which I've got one cut. So we'll finish this, and then we'll move on to the cutting these out with the ScanNCut and making a box which we're going to decorate with these. So I'm just going to turn these over and put some 3D foam pads on the back, or Stampin' Up call them Stampin' Dimensionals. So I'm going to put one on there and one on here. Just going to work out where I want to put this. So I'm going to put that one there. That one there. And then I've got the sentiment that says beautiful. And again, I'm going to do this in the baked brown sugar. Not sure if I called it soft brown sugar before, but it's baked brown sugar. I'm just going to ink it up and then put it down onto the card and hope my head's not getting in the way of the video. So there's the card. So that's my set of cards. So I'm going to put those to one side, and then I'm going to show you how to make a box, and we're going to decorate it using these that I've previously stamped that we're going to cut out with the ScanNCut. So for the box, I'm just going to put these inks away because I know that I'm going to stick my fingers in them or something. Okay, so I've got a piece of craft card here. This piece of card is cut at 11 1/4 this way and 7 3/4 this way. So with the longest side facing from left to right horizontally, it's 11 1/4, and then it's 7 3/4 inches high. And it needs now to be scored. So I'm going to bring in the scoreboard. Again, this is from Stampin Up, and I actually have a Stampin Up shop now. So if you want to purchase any of these items, there will be information on the video telling you where you can go, and I will also do a blog post that links from YouTube directly to my blog, and it will give you all the product numbers. So with the long side on the scoreboard, we're going to score at 1 inch, five inches, 6 inches, and 10 1/4. Then we're going to turn it round, and on the short side, this side, we're going to score at 3/4 of an inch, one 3/4, six, and 7. And if I've done this right, when we're finished, we should have a box that is 4 1/4 inches square, which will be big enough to house these cards and these envelopes, which are 4x4 envelopes. So I'm just going to have to bring my little diagram in now to remind me where to cut. So I'm just going to get rid of this. And I forgot to get some scissors, so I'll get some scissors. Okay, so with the card laid out lengthways in front of us, the first thing we need to do is cut out, I'm hoping you can see this bottom square and the top square. That's the first thing we need to do. So I'm going to just turn it round slightly and cut this. It may have been easier if I folded it all first, but we'll see how we go. So that's the first 2 cuts. Then we need to cut to remember how I did this now. So we need to cut this square and this square. Okay, so this first square here in the middle, that one and that one there. I'll just cut them up to the horizontal line for now because we've got to cut some away. It might be easier in a minute to cut those away. But just so you can see, so those 2. And then we need to cut away these top 2. Okay, so you cut those completely away. So we'll follow the score line. We'll take that one away. And that one away. And we're going to notch these two tabs. So we're going to, on the tab side, not on this side, this will become like a wall of the box. So on here, we're going to just notch a little corner away, just to get rid of some bulk on both sides. Turn it round, do the same, just on this little tab. And then we're just going to go back to the bottom. We're going to cut up this score line to the first horizontal line. And again, we're just going to notch this. This just helps your box fold up properly, or a little bit easier, I should say. These don't have to be precise, these notches. So we've got that and that, that and that and that. And then now we need to cut away these next two sections. I know I probably could have cut these away before, but I didn't want to cut too much away and do it wrong. So up to there. And it might be wrong anyway, so we'll see. It doesn't help that I can't actually see. And I have got my glasses on. So now we're going to fold all these lines, and I'm going to burnish them with my bone folder. We're just going to fold and burnish. This will just hopefully help the box go together a little bit easier when we come to stick it. And you have to bear with me with this because, you know, mostly I just do video tutorials showing you how to use software for the ScanNCut, but this is something a little bit different for me. I've just seen that I've got one more cut to make. I don't think I need that notch now. I think I just need to cut down there and cut down there. As I say, this is something fairly new to me, so, and I've just, yeah, I don't need those two little tabs there, so we can cut those off. And it's this one we need to notch. I mean, I actually designed this box. I worked it all out, worked all the measurements out and everything. So you would think that I would know how to do it, but as I say, I'm not, I don't normally do tutorials like this. It's only because I'm starting to use the Stampin' Up products that I'm actually trying to bring you some more tutorials. So this is hopefully going to be the first. This is going to be the first tutorial for 2015. So what we've got effectively, if we look at it, we're going to fold those flaps in. We'll fold those flaps in. And that's going to form our box, which we're going to stick together, and that's going to tuck in there. if it all works. So you don't have to do this, but I'm going to see if I can just round these corners on this flap. This is just an old corner punch I've had for years. And that would go like that. And then, so this flap here, it's opposite flap. I'm going to see if I can punch a little half circle in the middle. Just doing this by eye. Like a little finger hole. And I'm going to get some glue, and I'm going to use the Tombow glue because this is really good glue, and stick it together. So we need glue on these 4 short flaps. So I'll stick the front ones together first. I'm just going to line up the edges and hold for a minute. You could probably do this with the red tape, the red double-sided tape, but I find wet glue holds better normally, and this Tombow glue normally grabs pretty quickly and is really good glue. Just hold those for a minute. And then do the same on these. You don't need a lot of this glue. I'd probably actually put a little bit too much on those flaps, but it doesn't need a lot. Fold this one up now and tuck that one on that side and hold it. I'm hoping that you can see all this. And tuck that one in on that side and hold it. And then it's got little ledges to stop the box collapsing. And once it's all stuck together, it should be fine. I'm going to leave that aside for a minute to dry, and I'm going to set up the ScanNCut and cut these out. We're going to decorate the box. Okay, so I'm here at ScanNCut machine now. I've loaded my stamped images that I showed you before onto my normal mat. I've got my machine on. I'm going to go into Scan, Direct Cut, and just set the machine going. I'm going to wait for it to recognise. And I'm going to say OK, and it's picked them up. Just going to drag this in because it's picking other marks up on my paper and card. And I want a little 1mm border all around the flower, like I had on the other one. So I'm going to click this top icon and just hit the plus button once and say OK, OK again. In fact, I'm just going to go back because there's a little mark there that I don't want, so I'm just going to drag that in a little bit more. Make sure I've still got my border. Okay, and I've just got the 3 flowers this time, so that's all I want. Say cut and go. going to unload the mat, and I'm going to have to just move the camera angle again, so I won't be 1 minute. Okay, so I'm going to remove these from the mat, and you can see they've cut perfectly with a 1mm border all around them. Just put that layer out of the way for a minute. Just grab my rubber stamp again just to finish these off. I'm going to use the strawberry slush again to tie in with the cards, and because these were stamped as a solid image and not the Stampin' Off, I'm going to stamp these with one stamping. Put them out of the way. One thing I forgot to say when I was cutting the box, these little tabs that fold in on the side, you need to take a notch out of those as well. Okay, so just put this together for now. In fact, I won't. I'm going to decorate it flat. So I'm going to just put these on the front, and I've also cut some slightly bigger leaves that I are also from the flower patch. Okay, so it shows you how I'm not used to doing these type of videos because the battery died on the camera. So now we're back up and running. I've carried on sticking these on with 3D foam, or Stampin' Up Dimensionals as Stampin' Up call them, because it's their 3D foam I'm using. I've used the Stampin' Up jewels and just added a little jewel in the front of, in the middle of each flower. And then I'm just going to open my box and put in my 5 envelopes and 5 cards, and then tuck the flaps in. And there's our little gift box and gift set. Obviously you could decorate this up more if you wanted to, but just a simple little gift card and gift box idea. So I hope you found that helpful. Please like, share and subscribe. If you do wish to purchase any of the products I've used in creating this project, there will be a link under the YouTube video if that's how you found me. If you can't see it, click on the box directly under the video that says show more, and there will be a link there to a blog post that I will blog about this, and it will have all the links to my Stampin' Up shop, and you can buy the items should you wish. And if you would like to see any more projects like this in the future, please leave me a comment in the comment box and I'll see what I can do. Thank you.